Welcome back to online classes. Dear students, today I am going to discuss with Evidence Act, Indian Evidence Act under section 110. Okay. This 110 explain that the burden of proof as to ownership is on the person who affirms that he is no the owner, which runs as thus. Okay, and as per the act explain burden of proof as to ownership. Burden of proof as to ownership. When the question is whether any person is owner of anything of which he is shown to be in possession, the burden of proving that he is not the owner is on the person who affirms that he is not the owner. Sorry. Section 111 explains that the burden of good faith in the transactions where one party who is in relation of active confidence is on the party who is in the possession of active confidence. This section applies between the parties as to the transaction only. Okay. Chapter 2 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 lays down the provision about the contracts, voidable contracts and void contracts. From section 10 to 30, section 15 of the Act defines coercion. Section 16 of the Act defines undue influence. Section 17 of the Act defines fraud. Section 18 defines misrepresentation. In all these sections, lacking of good faith is an essential ingredient. Okay, we already studied in Contract Act. Here the section 111 of the Evidence Act is the rule of evidence to be proved good faith in the transactions. Section 111 applies mostly in civil cases. Section 111 of the Evidence Act runs as thus. Section 111, proof of good faith in transactions where one party is in relation of active confidence. This is a act. Here, where there is a question as to the good faith of a transaction between the parties, one of whom stands to the other in a position of active confidence, the burden of proving the good faith of the transaction is on the party who is in the position of active confidence. Okay, this is what I explained section 111 of the Evidence Act. Okay, we'll discuss illustration based on this section 111 of Evidence Act. Number 1, the good faith of a sale by a client to an attorney is in question in a suit brought by the client. The burden of proving the good faith of the transaction is on the attorney only. Number 2, illustration. The good faith of sale by a son just come of age to a father is in question in a suit brought by the son. The burden of proving the good faith of the transaction is on the father. Okay, we'll go to section 111 subclause A. What is that? This section explains about the presumption as to the offense under section 121, 121A, section 122 and or 123 of the Indian Penal Code. Okay, now it's clear. This section 111 explain about the presumption as to the offense under section 121 of IPC, 121A of IPC, section 122 or 123 of IPC. Section 111A was inserted in the Evidence Act by the Amendment Act number 61 of 1984. This act was with effect from 14th July 1984. This section applies to the criminal proceedings. This section runs as thus following Act. The Act explains 111A presumption as to certain offences. Okay, number 1, where a person is accused of having committed any offence specified in subsection 2 in subclause A, any area declared to be disturbed areas under any enactment for the time being in force, making provision for the suppression of disorder and restoration and maintenance of public order, or subclause B, any area in which there has been over a period of more than 1 month extensive disturbance of the public peace, and it is shown that such person had been at a place in such area at a time when firearms or explosive were used at or from that place to attack or resist the members of any armed forces or the forces charged with the maintenance of public order acting in the discharge of their duties. So here it shall be presumed, unless the contrary is shown, that such person had committed such offence. Okay, section 111A subclause 2, the offence referred to subsection 1 are the following. Number 1, an offence under section 121, section 121A, section 122 or section 123 of the Indian Penal Code, and B, criminal conspiracy or attempt to commit or abatement of offence under section 122 of IPC or 123 of the Indian Penal Code. Okay, this is what explain section 111A of Evidence Act. These are all included in the same section. Okay, dear, we'll go to section 112. I will discuss with a separate video class because this is very important section. Okay, so I just wanted to explain in detail in next video class. Okay students, very nice to meet you in this video. Okay, those who are not subscribed up to now in this YouTube channel, please subscribe. The screen showing subscribe, you just click it, and right hand side the bell is there, you just press the bell ring also. Send your feedback. Thank you. Bye. Take care.